One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Pod Cast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
The last character for Jabba is announced and released.
Yes, Boosh comes to the holotables.
Along with the last set of requirements.
Oh, is it anywhere near where we thought it would be?
And the road ahead drops while you're on vacation, Paul.
Well, with the exception of a few headlines I've seen, Neil, I've done it. I've stayed blind to pretty much all of it.
There is also a video with more stuff.
Oh, well, then we're going to have to take that in while the listeners listen in on that as well now, won't we?
This is going to be a jam-packed show. Can we get it all in?
I mean, while I was on vacation, I locked down our guest this week.
You got Urza come on?
Oh, no. He's busy with family. I got the other streamer that I had dinner with to join with us, Gridan.
Nice job. Looking forward to this one.
Yes, plus, there's a brand new Dickie and the Noob for this month.
Again with the jam-packed show.
Yes, yeah. And speaking of jam-packed, Patreon's choice on the bridge if we have time.
Well, all of this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very early morning episode of the Escape Pod Cast. Europe friendly.
Yes.
I mean, it's still America friendly. You just got to get up in the morning. You know, just think of it as a Saturday, and it's Jedi Academy. You know, you're getting up for Jedi Academy, but only it's the Escape Pod Cast. So, yes, a Europe friendly episode of the Escape Pod Cast with lots of stuff. Paul, tell everybody what's on the show today.
Yes. We'll be talking quickly about Leia, Boosh. But we're going to read and watch, at least for me, the first time that I've actually paid attention to this.
Yeah, no, I haven't read anything and I haven't seen anything yet.
So it was.
I'm waiting to read and watch it so that the cynic in me can just like naturally flow, as opposed to build up. Well, as soon as I heard about Leia Boosh, that all of my fears have been confirmed. All of my fears about this game have been confirmed. Yeah, fears.
What? Okay, let's start with this. What do you mean your fears?
My fears is that the people running this game have completely, utterly crapped the bed, because all of this stuff we're getting now, Lando, Jabba, Boosh Leia, with the new, we shouldn't have been getting any of this until next year, the actual anniversary of Return of the Jedi. But because CG, EA have crapped the bed so badly on datacons, they need something to get everybody excited again. So instead of waiting until 2023 to give us all of this celebratory, anniversary stuff for Return of the Jedi, they're like, bring it forward now. We need people thinking about good things, not bad things, which is datacons, because datacons, they screwed things up even further. We're like kind of hoping that things would get better as Set 4 was released. And it's like, no, it's not. It's a million times worse. It's worse, I tell you. So yeah, I just think that right now, CG and EA are totally crapping the bed. They're making an absolute mess of things. So it's like, right, all that crap that we had planned for the anniversary, just bring it out. Release it all now. We need something positive, which it is. We need something positive for the game moving forward, because datacons aren't positive moving forward, but all this Return of the Jedi stuff, mwah, muy caliente. It's beautiful. It's just a year early.
Bodhi does point out as well that new characters take 6 months for free-to-play people, so this was all decided before Datacrons. So, with the timing, I agree with Bodhi on this one, because
they don't care about that.
Oh yeah, they
don't care that it takes 6 months.
You don't know that they don't care about that. That is an absurd statement to make.
It's not an absurd statement. The priority, which it should be, the priority is always the whales and the krakens for the game. And I'm actually 100% on board with that. When they release stuff, they should only be thinking about the whales and the krakens. They're the guys that keep the lights on. Free to play and everybody else, it's like, hey, we do care about you, just not as much as the whales and the krakens, because they keep the lights on. And that's the way it should be. I don't think that they should be releasing characters thinking about how the free-to-play community is going to get it. They need to make their money first, so that they can keep the lights on and keep things ticking over, and then they can care about us. But they are now going to have to develop some new stuff for the anniversary, for the Return of the Jedi anniversary for next year.
Well, they've already talked about that. They're starting it now.
Exactly, they're starting it now.
So they can
it's not
build
the 23rd.
something...
It's not the anniversary of Return of the Jedi till next year.
But it will still be as awesome, in my opinion.
Oh, everything that they release because of it, it's going to be awesome. I mean, look what they did for the Empire Strikes Back was freaking awesome. I mean, come on, we got Vader, the Vader rework, we got JK. It was brilliant. The stuff that they gave us, we got more. The Empire Strikes Back, was brilliant. All that stuff we got. That's why I was so excited for the Return of the Jedi year, 2023. And now that they've given us a bunch of stuff early, they're going to have to replace that with more Return of the Jedi stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's get into the road ahead. Well, actually, I think we should go for Boosh first.
It was released first.
Yeah, it was released first, so I have to go find the kit for her. Unfortunately, I've lost it. But that's why we do this live, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's a question. What do you think of the offers they released this week? There's just have you seen how many offers there are? It's just ridiculous. It's bonkers. It's because you got that many aspects of the because there's that many aspects of the game now. It's nuts. It just is nuts. So you get past your obligatory character ones, so obviously, Leia Boosh is there. They're doing an offer for Iden. Then there's GL Ray, calendar A, B, and C. I mean, yeah, that's nice. But it's kind of like,
well, it's what it is it's a road ahead week. So people are going, and with it being what I've surmised as a popular road ahead week, of course they're gonna put the offers on there, because people are gonna be like, oh, I may come back to the game. Hell, Run DMV messaged us and said, I may come back to the game because of what I read in the road ahead. I'm looking forward to seeing what it was.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great, I think that the 6-day calendars for GL Ray are great. The price for them isn't too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Because you are just getting the character there. You got to remember that you're just getting the character Dark Gnar. So you're getting 7-star characters, all the 7-star characters required in order to move forward with going for GL Ray. But that doesn't mean the gear, though. And let's not forget, all those characters
and
need to be Relic 3, 4, and 5, I mean, I'm actually relicking the characters for GL Ray on my alt account, like at such a ridiculously slow pace, because I haven't played the game on that account for like 5 days now. But I am going, so I the pain of going through the relic levels. Maybe they'll do a GL Ray calendar A, B, C, and D and E, but for the relicking, so that people can effectively buy.
Why not just call it Galactic Legend Calendar or Galactic Legend Relicking Calendar? Yeah. And it gives you every single piece
every single thing. If they did a 30-day calendar for AGL that was like $100 or something stupid like that, I think a lot of the next generation of whales and krakens would eat that stuff up. I do genuinely think they would eat that stuff. I mean, they're kind of screwed when it comes to mods, but because getting a GL that quick, you've got all those characters, they're all relict, and you've got your GL, but you're not going to have the greatest mods, despite the fact that they've got rid of everything that's underneath, 5 stars. So, because remember we were talking about that in the last show. When Crumb dropped that was beautiful. That was wonderful.
Oh yeah,
that was one of the best. I mean, that is the best quality of life that SWGOH has done to the game since they moved the free gear all the way to the front. You used to open the store and you'd have to scroll all the way to the end to get your free card, and then they changed it and they moved it right to the front. Greatest QOL ever. But this is definitely up there. So, right. The calendar stuff for the GLs is great. The gear stuff. Obviously, they've got countless offers in. There's crystal offers and money offers in there for Datacrons. Lando's still in there. The ship stuff. I mean, there are so many offers in here at the moment. It's just nuts. Ship offers, just yes.
I'm ready to jump into the kit here.
Oh, you got the kit up. Okay, yeah. Okay. I will stop doing filler.
So, basic for Boosh is deal special damage to target enemy inflicted thermal detonator for 2 turns. If the leader slot is Hut Cartel, the attack cannot be evaded. If the ally in the leader slot is a bounty hunter, so not if the ally in the leader slot. I don't think that she counts for it. Probably does, but the way that they worded it, it shouldn't. If the ally in the leader slot is bounty hunter, inflict defense down for 2 turns. If it's Bush's turn, the ally in the leader slot is smuggler, attack again. Inventive is the special one with a cooldown of 3. Final text, deal special damage to all enemies and detonate all thermal detonators. Then inflict a new thermal detonator for 2 turns. What if you bring in the Jawa engineer to just throw more detonators?
That's what's going to be fun about it, the theory craft.
Yeah.
Final text for, and that's it. Special one and basic. I would have put unique one instead of special one inventive as she's holding a thermal detonator. I would have put that as the title of
I thought that too.
All right. Unique one, Fearless, has a Zeta. Bush is immune to fear. Flat out. Doesn't matter. At the start of battle, Bush gains 1 stack of My Kind of Scum until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. At the start of the encounter, all enemies gain Deadly Bluff, where Bush's abilities gain additional effects when using the character. If an enemy with Deadly Bluff was inflicted with any thermal detonators, inflict an additional thermal detonator for 2 turns. If all allies were Hut Cartel at the start of the battle, enemies with Deadly Bluff can't attack out of turn. And if they both have Deadly Bluff and Thermal Detonator, they lose 25 speed. Anti-Imperial Troopers meta right there. So you can't take... If Bush is there, your Imperial Troopers are not going to stop a Bounty Hunter team. or Hut Cartel team, but I mean, you've got plenty in there. If the ally in leader slot is Cartel and not a galactic legend, Bush is immune to turn meter manipulation. That's not an Omicron. Bush will assist once per turn whenever another Hut Cartel ally uses an ability during their turn and the target enemy has deadly bluff. My Kind of Scum is also a plus 10% max health and defense. There is no cap on that so far that I've read. Unique 2. Ubis. How the hell do you say this, Neil?
What?
Ubisi Ogoyan Cloak.
I don't know because I'm having trouble finding the kit on the website.
Oh, it's on the it was also in the developer insight. It's below the developer insight. One page instead
below
of
the
two
developer
different
insight for what?
For Bush. Here, I'm gonna send it to you real quick.
Yeah, just send me the link. It's too early in the morning. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
Final text. This does have the
Okay,
Omicron.
what word were you asking me to? It was this. Is it, you talking about the kit reveal? Is it
Unique? Yeah,
or,
at the bottom of that. Unique 2. Ubisi
special? Okay,
Ogoyan Cloak. That's what I think. Anyway.
All right. Yes.
I have it.
Bessie Goigan cloak.
Okay, I do have it pronounced correctly. Bush and Lightside Smuggler allies gain 5% armor penetration, 15% offense, 10% potency, and they gain 10 speed. If the ally in the leader slot is Hut Cartel, Bush and Lightside Smuggler allies are immune to ability block and stun. And the bonuses are doubled. Yes, I know, Bob. This character seems to patch a lot of holes for offensive teams.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting where people put her because she may not be in a Java team because maybe she'll make another team even better.
Yeah.
You know, she's very diverse.
And light side smuggler allies gain plus 20% critical chance. And this was the big thing that a lot of people were like, oh, this points to a raid. While in raids, the max cooldown of Inventive is reduced by 1 if the ally in the leader slot is Hut Cartel. When Fearless inflicts a thermal detonator, all Hut Cartels gain 10% armor penetration, stacks 20 times, 20% offense, stacks 20 times, 20% potency, stacks 20 times, and 10 speed, stacks 10 times.
I must admit, I'm a little bit disappointed in this. I was still kind of keeping my fingers crossed and hoping beyond hope that they would do the more rational thing with regards to Omicrons and kind of do a QOL change where we've got PvE Omicrons and we've got PvP Omicrons, you know? Because they keep, oh, here's one for a raid. Oh, here's one for TB. Oh, here's one for territory wars. Oh, here's one for GAC. Would have just been so much easier to say, you know what? Let's just split them down the middle. These ones will work on PvE and these ones will work on PvP. Because then more people would invest. I think more people would have invested in them. That was all.
I would invest in Datacrons if I could actually use them instead of, seeing somebody put down their Datacron that's an FU defense. And I can't play with my toys. Anyway.
No, there's an FU defense, and then there's FU defense with Datacrons. You know, at least you could look at an FU defense and go, oh my God, this is going to be such a pain in the ass. But it was a challenge. Now you see an FU defense and there's like level 6 to level 9 Datacrons on them, and you're like, nah, I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah.
Or you hit the team that you know that you're going to have the most trouble with. And then all your teams get eaten up by that one, and then you think to yourself, "Yeah, this is no fun." Bollocks to the words that never come out of my mouth ever. Bollocks to GAC.
Okay, but talking about new raid real quick, why wouldn't they be bringing out a new one? Why the heck would you want to put a raid Omicron on a new character? Because if you're getting this character, you're most likely already doing all raids.
Not everything is for everyone, Bob. Not everything is for everyone. If you are a new
It's like
player,
it's like all it's just like all Star Wars content, Bob. Not everything is for every Star Wars fan, but there is something for every Star Wars fan.
and at the same time, not everything is for every level of player. This may not, until a new raid is ever released, this may not be something that the endgame player is going to use. And even then, they may not use it. But you bet your bottom dollar somebody's going to put it on for the tank raid because they can't sim it yet.
Yeah. No, I just think that they're I don't think that this is regarding a new raid. I think that this is just for the existing raid, because look at all of that extra. You know, the extra armor penetration goes up to max 200 to max 400% on the. This is to make bounty hunters and maybe the Hut Cartel people, the bounty hunters that have been retagged Hut Cartel, actually useful in the Crankle.
Yep.
Because think how many relic bounty hunters and Hut Cartel people have in their account now, but they just absolutely suck on the Crankle raid. With this character, they might actually be able to do some decent damage in, you know, some of the stages. So I think that this is for Crankle, not for the new raid, because the new raid is going to be a ship raid, and it is still, well, I say it's still going to be next year, but all of this stuff that they've released, I was saying that they were going to release next year, and they're bringing it all forward. So maybe they bring a ship raid forward. This Omicron is not for ship raids. This Omicron is for Crankle. That's what I believe anyway.
Well, from something they said in the road ahead, which we'll get to, I'm not going to say anything about that, but something makes me think that the next raid will be a mix between ground.
They have talked about that.
They could. We talked about this over. I talked about this over 3 years ago. The best type of new raid would be a mix. The Return of the Jedi one would be best if the it switched between the space battle against the Death Star and the ground battle on Endor.
Yeah.
So you'd have two stages. In space, and then you would have two stages on the ground.
I like it.
With the penultimate stage being blowing up, with the penultimate stage blowing up the facility on Endor, and then the final being, you know,
The Death Star.
inside the Death Star.
That would be cool.
Well, speaking of a payoff, the Bush's payout is whenever Bush receives rewards they gain, inflict 3 thermal detonators for 2 turns on all allies. Ambidextrous Assault and Inventive, the only 2 abilities that she has, inflicts 1 additional thermal detonator until the end of battle. If all allies were Hut Cartel at the start of the battle, the cooldown of Inventive is reset and the max cooldown is reduced by 1. So Inventive then becomes every other turn. And you can use it right away. Kind of like, what do you call it? Kind of like Boba Fett. The leader gives all bounty hunter allies 25% max health and protection. An additional. Enemies with Deadly Bluff lose 25% tenacity. And at the end of each turn, dispel all buffs on enemies with both Bluff and Detonator. And what you have to do is defeat an enemy with damage from a thermal detonator to get their contract popped. Any thoughts on the kit overall before we get to the road ahead?
As far as me, I think it's okay. I don't think it's too crazy, but like the light side thing makes me wonder what else she can do in other teams. It's pretty cool. Not the craziest, but just as a character, I'm so excited. Croissant and this Lando, those are my Hondos. You know what I mean? And I've been wanting these for so long.
Nothing equates to Hondo.
If I could get full on the Zuckus in here, I'm good for life.
What was the rework that did? I mean, they did a rework to Mob Enforcer. Was the Mob Enforcer rework actually any good, or was it?
It's actually really interesting. You'll see it here in the road ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen that Mob Enforcer's art changed. But let's take a 2-minute break. Quick 2-minute break. After this, after that, we'll be right back with the road ahead.
With a live watching, yes.
With the live watching and reading of the road ahead right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
You're listening to the Escape Pod cast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great break, Paul. That was a really good break.
It was amazing break.
Going into one.
one of the best breaks I think we've ever had. That wasn't it. I mean, the commercials were all the same, and everything else was the same.
Exactly.
And, yeah, it's still my sister doing Patreon, the Patreon ad.
Yep. So let's get into the road ahead. I'm gonna go through the
You don't want to watch the video first?
The video should be first.
The video should be first?
Yeah.
Everybody tells me that there's more in the video than the written one, so maybe we should watch the written one watch the video first.
Most
all right.
definitely
Well,
watch
let's pop that over there. Let me bring Bob in front of the video there. All right, there we go.
You want to do a countdown?
Yes. So we're gonna we're gonna pause and stop and all that, but people are gonna be able to listen along if they're listening on the podcast right now in 3, 2, 1.
Table Heroes, my name is Tuscan Meathead, and I'm here to talk to you about all things Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in this September's Road Ahead. Now, there is a lot, and I mean a lot, to go over, so grab yourself a tasty beverage and a lot of snacks, and let's get right into it. Alright, folks, now on to the first topic of the State of the Road. We're going to discuss Jabba the Hutt.
The State of the Road.
We are fortunate enough to have designer CG Mouse in-house to discuss all things the kit, what to expect from Jabba the Hutt, and not only that, but the last requirements you're going to need to get Jabba the Hutt. So without further ado, CG Mouse, we're doing this. Take it away. We're doing this, folks. Just take it away, CG Mouse.
So the things that make Jabba unique and special is, first of all, he's going to be our first non-Force sensitive galactic legend. In addition to that, he's going to be our first support galactic legend. Now, as you've probably seen with the introduction of Chrysanthemum, we did introduce the Hutt Cartel faction, and that was all in preparation for Jabba, who's going to be really tying that faction together with powerful benefits, mechanics, and
He's got a
different kinds
little
of buffs.
crumb there with him.
One of the things that Jabba does for the Hutt Cartel faction and for bounty hunters is he ushers in a new meta involving thermal detonators. As you've already seen with the addition of SWGOH, we've started to increase the amount of thermal detonators that are in the game, and Jabba's just going to crank that up and have additional mechanics for that, including the ability to reduce the effectiveness of healing if an enemy has a thermal detonator on them. Yeah, it's important to note that while Jabba is a support Galactic Legend, he's not a pacifist Galactic Legend.
All right, I'm pausing here really quick. It's a thermal...
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a thermal detonator-centric kit. really needs to get back into this, especially because of how he won that one battle using the Jawas against the Geonosians. And the money!
As much as I'd love to see Urs return to the game, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I talked to him about that this past week. All right. Starting back up at 3, 2, 1.
Notorious mob boss himself is not out there slapping people around. He is enforcing his goons with powerful buffs and directing them and controlling the flow of combat very effectively through a variety of mechanics, including debuffs. You might notice in his kit, and you're going to see a nice appearance of one Salacious Crumb as he comes out and starts spreading thermal detonators to the enemy team. This is one of the ways that Jabba will actually increase mastery across his entire team. So the ultimate for Jabba the Hutt should be a fan favorite, as it's going to introduce the Rancor. Now what this is going to do is, against most targets, non-Galactic Legends and non-raid bosses, is it's going to actually instantly defeat them and help empower Jabba's team. Now this is a repeatable ultimate that you can use multiple times throughout the fight. Against Galactic Legends and against raid bosses, this will have unique and different mechanics and interactions to help still provide a significant amount of power to the team.
So you get
in addition
the
to that,
ultimate
Jabba the
is
Hutt
throwing
is
him to a
considered
Rancor.
large character, and he will have unique abilities which actually communicates that. Now what this means in gameplay terms is that he can't actually be used in the ally slot. Yeah, we really wanted to draw an inspiration that Jabba the Hutt is a gritty crime boss who sends others to do the dirty work, but he is actually the one who benefits. And you'll see inspirations for that throughout the entire kit. The last set of his requirements are now live, and we could not be more excited for you to get your hands on Jabba the Hutt, one of the most iconic characters in all of Star Wars. In addition to Jabba having strong ties in the meta, we've also made sure to give him very potent abilities and effects that will allow him to have an extra edge in modes such as Territory Battle and Raids. This utility is first seen in the Hoth Territory Battle and the Dark Side Geonosis Battle, where we're actually adding new nodes that can only accept Jabba the Hutt. But in addition to that, he'll have a plethora of abilities that are very specifically tuned to give him an edge in Territory Battle and raid environments.
Next up on today's journey to the center of the galaxy's path is a topic many of you have reached out to me for, either DM, PM, Pigeon, Fox, those little notes that you would pass in grade school for those of you old enough to know what those are. But today we get to announce that for you. A territory battle. That's right, folks, there is a new territory battle coming to Galaxy of Heroes, and earlier this week we were able to sit down with the lead designer and catch up on all things TB. So without further ado, let's jump right into that and get all the details.
Hi, I'm Luke. I'm a game designer here at Capital Games.
So we need to get Luke Hoffman on
yes,
the show.
Yes, I am named after the Skywalker. And I'm working on the new territory battle. Excited to share some details.
No, because he's the territory
battle 3 will be the first one that allows you to use both dark and light side characters in the same event. It will feature multiple paths, a light side path, a dark side path, and a mixed path that will follow kind of scoundrels and bounty hunters.
Neutral, please.
Jabba the Hutt, our new GL, will be very important there as well. So rather than having it set on a single area, single planet like Geonosis and Hoth were, this one will be galaxy-wide. Be hopping from planet to planet, kind of following the rise of the Empire in the aftermath of Revenge of the Sith, and leading into A New Hope. Yeah, the light side will focus on the Jedi.
Right. I'm pausing it there for a second. The new territory battle is going to focus between essentially Revenge of the Sith / Rogue One and A New Hope.
Yep.
So, I mean, we have seen this covered multiple times also in comics. So that's exciting.
Yep.
Escaping from the Empire, following the path, going through and meeting rebel cells, seeking safety, seeing the beginnings of the Empire with groups like Phoenix Squadron, all the way up to the Battle of Yavin. The dark side path will follow all the way from Mustafar, the birth of Vader, effectively, through the beginning of the Inquisitorius, and all the way through the construction of the first Death Star. As we've mentioned previously, Jabba the Hutt is going to be very important in territory battles. This one is obviously no exception. He will be very important, especially along that middle mixed path, the scoundrels and smugglers path. Definitely recommend
the scoundrels and smugglers path. Okay.
We've created this new map in a way that is extensible and updatable over time. So we intend to release new planets and new zones and follow along with the storyline that Disney is telling with some of their new shows that are coming out and some of their new content that's coming out. And some of the new games that are coming out, for instance.
No, hold on. Can you pause
so over time, you'll get new zones.
He said
okay, I paused.
He said it's extensible and updatable.
So
I think you should look a lot into that, because that means they can keep adding, changing it, and you might not need a new rating anymore.
That's both good and bad. That has positives and negatives. Positive in the sense that, they can add nodes. Like they said, they can change planets. They can add nodes. They can extend the light side, the dark side, or the middle line. Good that it can keep it interesting. Bad that they could introduce an entirely new faction that's all light side, all dark side, or all in the middle, and then extend the raid to that node so that you can only do it if you buy and then gear this new faction that they release. So good, but it has some serious, there's some serious whale and crackening.
That's true.
That could potentially it's a bit like the Groundhog Day meme. Think about it. The Groundhog Day meme is constant. Every single time they do a galactic challenge that's Inquisitors, I see that meme. Well, it's Groundhog Day again, because it is. It's just, so can you imagine what a new node every time they introduce a new faction would be? Oh, here's a new light side node. Let's extend the territory battle. But, you need them all at Relic 5. Oh, we've got a new dark side faction. Let's extend the dark side of this so good, yes, but there are some serious implications. So should we keep watching?
Yeah, let's keep watching in 3, 2, 1.
And hopefully new rewards to go along with them. So this is designed for some of our top end guilds. Pretty much anyone who is getting the lion's share of the rewards from Geonosis is going to be ready to enter this territory battle. We see this as the next evolution in that system. So when designing this territory battle, we wanted to give players a way to utilize their entire roster at any given time. This both allows you to use some of your new TV Omicrons more frequently than the dark side, light side battles that are separated, and allows you to kind of stretch into new teams, which we think part of the difficulty will be finding the best ways to utilize your roster in the most efficient means possible for each phase, as well as dealing with some of the new modifiers and enemies that we've created. At launch,
I paused. What you got?
We've heard this before. Nothing against this developer.
That you can use your roster?
Nothing against this developer, but we've heard this twice before. We heard this with Galactic Challenges, and we heard this with Galactic Conquest, and we know now that is complete and utter balls. So when he says you're going to be able, no, you're not going to be able to use your entire roster. It's going to be very, very faction-specific, high-level relics. So people aren't going to be able to use all their roster for this. So, I mean, I understand he's got a script, you know, and he has to follow that. This is not me having a go at him. This is me having a go at CG, telling him to say this. Oh, you're going to be... No, you're not. We all know this. We were told it 2 times before, and it was wrong 2 times before. So, no, I don't believe that for a second.
I mean...
You mean what?
Being able to use your roster and having a roster strong enough are 2 different things. As long as they have the ability to use whatever you want, with the exception of this node requires Java or this node requires standing on 1 foot, you know, that kind of thing. Thank you, H-Beard, for the follow. As long as we have that sort of thing, it's not... He is speaking the truth. You can use your entire roster. You might not be good with it, but you can use your entire roster.
Semantics. Paul, you using a semantic argument, that's low. That's below the belt. That's well below the belt.
Using logic.
No semantic arguments allowed to be used regarding Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
I'm sorry that I've made sense. Let's go back to it.
You can use all of them. Yeah, of course you can use all of them in challenges and all of them in conquest. Doesn't mean they're going to do anything. You know, I could put my full team of Jawas in challenges. It's still not going to do anything. They're going to get wiped out straight away.
Exactly.
You know?
All right, back to this.
There will be an exclusive character available via this territory battle. It will be the third sister, Riva, for your Inquisitorious squads.
Okay.
I think that players will be pleasantly surprised.
All right, Riva announced.
So Riva's going to be the reward for this?
Riva's going to be the... I don't know if that's the only reward. I would hope not. Where the hell is Hondo?
You're going to need 3... They're going to need 3 rewards. If they're going to do a light side trail, a dark side trail, and kind of one in the middle, I would expect Riva to be like the reward for the dark side line.
Yeah.
And then they would need to have a reward for the light side line and a reward for the middle one. Just like we have. I mean, we would get 2 rewards on the... we had 2 rewards on the...
Let's continue on. We've only...
Yeah, let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Surprised by this territory battle. It's got a great new look. We're putting in some new systems to support things like ships and characters, battles in the same zones. We're giving you new ways to use your complete rosters and some new rewards. So
okay, pausing again. Ships and ground in the same area.
This is what I was talking about as far as what would be implemented for a new raid.
So you are using your entire roster, Neil, in order to max out a zone.
We'll see.
I do have to use my ships as well, and I just can't beat it with only ground units. Or, only ships go up there. Anyway.
Yeah, they're doing this. They're going for the... You remember last year with the Legends event? It was a build up towards the event actually occurring on December. You remember?
The Star Killer.
Yeah, the Star Killer. It sounds like that's what they're doing for this raid. So there's going to be a build up for the raid to be released at the beginning of December, just like they did with the Star Killer event.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
Should be really exciting. As far as timeline, we're shooting for the end of the year with this new territory battle. Obviously, it's still in development. So we'll see where that lands, but hopefully you will be playing it this year.
All right, folks, we are down to the last 2 topics in the condition of the Star Avenue. This one, probably one that I'm extremely excited for. It's mods re-rolling. It's a new feature coming out, and we were lucky enough, not really lucky enough, we kind of forced them to sit down, but that's another story for another day. But we're going to sit down with the feature producer for this, CG Waffle King.
I'm here to talk to you today about a brand new feature that's coming out in the next couple weeks on our next large release. It's called Mods Calibrate, and it's going to allow you to transfer substats from a mod to give you a better chance at rolling a great mod or a perfect mod. This is a very powerful system that will allow you to affect your 6E to 6A mods. Each one of those mods at the different levels has an amount of rolls that you'll be able to use, and as you slice that mod up, it's going to allow you to unlock more rolls. Don't worry, guys. If you already have mods that are at 6A, all of those roles will already be applied. So to anyone who's already taken a mod to 6A, those roles will automatically be opened up for you. So you can go ahead and use any of the mods that you've already spent a bunch of time investing into and perfecting. So
pausing right there. You can already, you can perfect your mods. Essentially, they're bringing Datacron rerolls to mods now.
Yeah.
So a Kraken is now going to be able to fine-tune a mod.
That's what I was thinking too.
This is just going to make the tip of the gap. That, I mean, don't get me. Hey, this is great because people that have to continuously save up for these resources, and they don't quite get those roles for 6A. This is going to be great for them. The thing is, the whales and the Krakens already have accounts loaded with 6As. So this is, oh my God, it's the gap, the competitive gap between pay to win and free to play is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This is going to open up an absolute chasm because every whale and Kraken is going to go through all their GL teams, and they're going to re-roll all of their 6A mods for every single one of their so that they can oh wow,
it's going to be scary.
Great. Don't get me wrong. I think that it's a really, really good move, but it is going to open a Grand Canyon-sized chasm between the pay-to-win and the free-to-play.
And he uses the word "powerful" many, many times.
Yeah, that top 500, that top 500, hell, that top 5,000 is going to become a lot harder to get into on GAC.
Bodhi says it's a capped reroll, not like Datacrons where you can reroll like 30 times. So limited rerolls. I know that you can reroll only a certain amount of times, but that doesn't stop somebody from buying a mod, leveling it up, going, this is crap, reroll, 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 reroll. Okay, I finally got something good, put it on the shelf. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall.
Yeah.
They're going to just continue.
But Bodhi says it's capped, and sure. But you got to remember there's only 4 stats. There's only 4 secondary stats. So you only need 3 reroll. If you're trying to reroll to one of the stats, from one of the other 3, then, if they're capping it at 3 or 4 or 5, it doesn't. You're going to be inside the reroll cap in order to reroll the stat that you specifically want to. Maybe you've already got 25 speed on it, and there is protection and flat offense and offense percentage, and you're like, right, I want to reroll. I don't want that protection. I want to reroll it so that it's either flat offense or offense percentage. You know that the speed's not going to re-roll already because it's already maxed out at 5. So capping the re-rolls, I don't think are going to be that much of an issue.
Tommy 1 and 2 says it all depends if they sell the mats or not.
Of course they're going to sell the mats.
Of
course they're going to sell the mats.
All right, let's move on.
It's a really, really cool feature. We're very excited about it, and we cannot wait for it to come out in the next couple weeks. We know that mods are important to people, and there's been a lot of investments that have been into it, and we really, really took that into consideration as we built out Calibrate. Calibrate is a very powerful tool that's going to allow you to take those good mods and make them great, and take your great mods and make them perfect. It was important to us to make sure that players felt that the investment that they had already put into these mods was going to remain. And so none of the stats on a mod will ever change with this new calibration system. You're still dealing with the exact same stats, but it gives you the option to now take those mods and tune them to a place where you get some extra chances at making great rolls, really high level speeds, high level defense. And that's important to us because we wanted to make sure that you as players understood that this system only makes your mods better.
It only makes your mods better. Go ahead, Neil. What were you going to say?
No. Just that it's not going to change. It's not going to change the secondary stats. It looks like it's changing the
tertiary stats.
It looks. Yeah. It's changing the mod itself, isn't it? It was a speed, and then it changed to an offense with the Calibrate. So all of the secondary
they
stats
chose
remain.
One of them. They chose one of the secondary stats.
That's what I saw too.
Yeah, they chose
sure?
one of the secondary stats. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we're at different points.
As you calibrate mods, you are going to be able to keep and discard stats. So if you get a roll that you don't like, you'll be able to keep the one that you had. So no matter what, you will always be making a mod better. It is important to us that you guys feel that this feature is something that helps you along your mod's journey and creates a really fun experience as you interact with mods. The new system calibration is going to use a brand new currency called mod attenuators. These mod attenuators are only used for calibration. There will be no other materials that you are required to put in to use this new system, and that is very important to us because we want you to be able to use just this new currency to continue down the mods journey and upgrade your great mods to perfect and your good mods to great. It's very important to us that you can focus on your ships and characters without thinking about using those materials to also upgrade your mods. With this new Calibrate feature and the suite of quality of life improvements that are coming in the next release, we are very excited to see players get to interact with mods in a brand new way, make it much easier for you players to invest, to tune, and to sell all of the mods that you have in your inventory, creating a much better experience while using our mod system. I hope you guys enjoy this system as much as we have built it.
All right, heroes, we've finally made the last topic on this boulevard concerning the advancement of the Star System Highway.
All right, he's advancement of the Star System Highway. So yeah, he has been mispronouncing it during the entire video. But I'm gonna really quick answer H Beard DD. Why does he have to explain it? He sounded like he was trying to sell the audience on this idea. I mean, the audience was already sold if you are hardcore about your mods. So it's more informing people that, hey, those crappy mods that that you've got sitting on Mob Enforcer could finally become actually useful. At least that's my opinion. Neil?
No, the changes that they're making to mods are this is not I don't actually think that this is an end game. It's end game for new whales and krakens, not for end game whales and krakens, not people that have been playing 6 years. This is I think that this is geared primarily towards the next generation of whales and krakens that have maybe only been playing for 2 or 3 years, that have 2 or 3 GLs, but they still, because they've only been playing for a couple of years, they still don't have that great mod infrastructure for their roster. You've got the challenges, the mod challenges. You're only going to get 5 dot mods there, and they brought this change in. So you're going to be able to get a really, really good mod set much, much earlier in the game than was previously possible. See, we're looking at this now, and we're looking at, we've got mods coming out of our ears because we've been playing it for donkey's years. Yeah. Unfortunately, people that have only been playing this for 2 or 3 years, maybe even 4, don't have the same amount of decent mods that somebody that's been playing this game for 6 years. I mean, my main account has got loads of great mods, so I'm looking forward to this.
We have
people that have been playing this earlier that have got 3G. They're going to be able to square all their GLs away.
All right, we got to play the rest of it here. Okay. So here we go.
Phase 1 economy changes. That's right. We are about to discuss all things that we'll be doing to wrap up Phase 1 economy changes, as well as mod economy changes in this update. So Meathead, take it away.
All right, thanks Meathead. SB Crumb here with the last topic for today's Road Ahead, economy changes. First up, I want to talk about some mod economy changes that are coming with the next title update, which is obviously going to be tied into all these awesome things that are coming for mods. We just heard from Kaylee about mods calibration, and we mentioned in the last State of the Galaxy all those really great quality of life stuff that's happening as well. But we also want to make mods more accessible for all players, and that means more quality mods and more resources to move them from 5A to 6A. So the first step of this was replacing those 3 and 4 dot mods from the last tier of the mod challenges with 5 dot mods. This means more quality mods for you to work with. You don't have to go back and sell all those 3 and 4 dot mods just every time you sim those things, and you're just going to get more mods in general that you can work with. The second change to mod challenges is that we're changing the drop rate for all shapes to be equal. In the past, certain shapes like triangles were less common, and that led to some difficulty when you're trying to get the right set for each character and the right set of mods for your entire squad. There's so many different combinations and primaries you could get for those that it would make it really hard to get the right set of triangles sometimes. And they were just a little more scarce than we wanted them to be. The next big change is we're adding slice materials from 6E to 6A to mod battle nodes. These resources will be spread across those nodes just like you have the Mark 1 stuff, but now you can farm these slicing materials from nodes instead of only earning them from events. This is going to be a big deal for helping you get more mods up to 6A in a much faster fashion than you have in the past. The last piece related to mods is the overhaul of the mod store. We're trying to make the mod store a much better experience, and we're starting to look at the pricing and the quality of mods that are in those stores. We're going to keep the same currencies that you already use to purchase mods, but there'll be things like no more 4-dot mods in the store. We're adding in slicing materials to the mod store, and then weekly shipments will get mod slice materials for things like shard shop currency. So you're going to get more quality mods from those mod challenges, and you get more materials to upgrade them with the slice materials in the store, or also just from using the mod battles and farming those there. So that should make mods much more accessible for players across the board. While those are the main changes we're having to mods and Comet, that's not all I have to talk about today. We're also working on wrapping up the phase 1 of the gear changes.
They're wrapping
There's a couple things we talked about a while back, and we want to make sure we wrap up all those things before we move towards anything else. So the first one of those things is increasing the drop rate for gear on hard nodes with character shards. Oftentimes you have to kind of choose between do you want to farm character shards or gear, and we're to make that a lot easier so you can actually get some gear while you're farming those character shards. The second thing we talked about a while back was also the rotating tile and shipments that contains core gear. So this just means you're going to get more core gear on a regular basis from those shipments. There's a third piece we also mentioned that's the last final thing before we wrap up all of our Phase 1 gear changes, and that is the Territory Battle Rewards Flattening, which means the folks who are getting less than the max stars will get more rewards, while the people at the top who are getting max stars are going to get the same set of rewards. We're not ready to talk about that right now, as we just announced the new Territory Battle, and it probably makes more sense to talk about that as we approach the release of the new Territory Battle. So stay tuned for more on that, and that'll be the final wrap-up of Phase 1 gear changes that I'm super stoked we can finally get past.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for me today, and talking about comment changes. Back to you, Meathead.
All right, so I'll pause it there. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. So, thanks for looking out for us.
Always. That's why I'm here.
I know. So, I mean, thoughts
disappointing.
on
Very
everything?
disappointing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm excited about a new territory battle. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to be.
Oh
like.
no, sorry, no, not disappointing the entire road ahead. I'm just talking about the Phase 1 gear changes. Very disappointing.
And did you notice the last thing Crumb said? He was like, I don't know what he said exactly, but you could tell he was like, so we can finally get past this. Because I'm sure this Phase 1 the Phase 1 gear change. This is a band-aid. Because we've been asking for this for so long. I mean, we've been, I've been on many a podcast, and I've chatted with people. I mean, just doing the hard nodes. I mean, come on, that's cheap. That's cheap. They should have been doing the easy ones as well. Carbontes is still a problem.
You shouldn't have to farm.
Oh, golden eyeballs.
It's all still a problem though. Yeah.
Shouldn't have to farm you shouldn't have to farm a hard node in order to get the core gear faster. We want to be able to do.
I'm done with characters.
The 6, the 8s, the 10s, but instead we're going to be on 12s and 16s and 20s. So I'm very, very disappointed in the final phase. What I really thought they should have just done, if they'd just done the easy and the hard nodes, I'd be happy. I'd be looking at that going, that's what we wanted. That's what we've been asking for a year. Faster drop rates, higher drop rates across all nodes, so that we can get that core gear faster.
All right, we are way behind, Bob.
Yeah.
Any issues? Any mistakes?
Nope. You read and watched perfectly today. I was proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Good.
All right. So, coming up after this, I actually sat down with this person 3 days ago, had dinner with them, and invited them on the show, and they accepted. Gridan will be on the show right after these messages, right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod. Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Back to school. The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello there, Podawans, and welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Uncle Thad. Well, my friends, she is finally here. We've known she was coming for some time now, and she... Leia Bouche, scoundrel, bounty hunter, angry woman hell-bent on finding the man who refused her advances. Leia Bouche is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as part of the final requirements to unlock galactic legend Jabba the Hutt. But who is Leia Bouche and what is her backstory? I am so glad you asked, because today she is the focus of our story time. So with that, let's take a look at the Ubis bounty hunter and see where her story fits in canon. Originally, Bouche was a male Ubis from Uba 4. Despite his small stature, he worked as a bounty hunter, developing a reputation of being fierce and dangerous, much like Tom Cruise. He even did all his own stunts. But the real Bouche went a little too far when he tried to blackmail the Black Sun crime syndicate, and they quietly had him killed, kind of like the Church of Scientology did with the real Tom Cruise. It was at this time that Leia Organa, Chewbacca, and company stumbled upon the corpse of the dead bounty hunter and came up with a plan to free Han Solo. Now, this plan went through a series of different revisions. The first had Luke using the Force to marionette the Ubis into the palace, negotiating the release of Han, and then escaping before the corpse started to stink. But after a few failed attempts of playing Puppet Master, Luke thought there must be a better way. He just couldn't get Bouche's corpse to drink realistically, so he's like, there's gotta be a better way than this. Next, the plucky crew thought about taking the bounty hunter's body to the planet Dathomir and having the Night Sisters do some of their, wicked voodoo magic. The Weekend at Bernie's style plan was quickly nixed because of a love triangle that C-3PO had going on with, a typewriter over there on Dathomir. He just couldn't bring himself to show up to the planet. They tried to disguise a reprogrammed B-1 battle droid to go in wearing the bounty hunter's armor, but the crew was worried that the sociopathic Mr. Bones would just want to kill and create mayhem. They eventually settled upon Leia wearing the armor and faceplate of Bouche, the bounty hunter, and the plan proceeded from there. Disguised as Ubis bounty hunter, Leia, like the absolute bad mother trucker she was, walked into Jabba's palace and tried to sell Chewbacca for 50,000 K. Now, this was all a ruse. Leia didn't condone slavery, and Chewbacca was one of her BFFs. But when Jabba tried to lowball the princess, she was having none of it. She knew how much a Wookiee was worth on the black market. She also knew that Chewbacca was no ordinary Wookiee. And like an absolute baller, she pulls out a thermal detonator and says, "Snitch, you're gonna pay Boushh his money, or we all gonna die." Now, you've got to remember, Leia grew up on the mean streets of Alderaan. She knew her way around a thermal detonator. Long story short, the crew freed Han. Leia regretted not wearing more than a gold bikini under the Boushh costume. Lando almost got shot. Boba got et, and Luke did some aerial acrobatics. It was pretty epic. But with that, let's take a look at Boushh's kit and see how well the devs developed her in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, Leia Boushh is a princess in disguise. She's a light side attacking bounty hunter scoundrel who is pretending to be a member of the Hutt cartel in order to save her brother's best friend, who she is secretly in love with. Well, not so secretly, because the last thing she told him was, "I love you." And like a complete baller himself, Han responded, "I know." If I were Leia Boushh and I had just spent the last year trying to rescue Han, my first question would be, what the hell do you mean, I know? Come on now. Anyways, Leia Boushh's basic attack is kinda perfect for the princess. With one hand, she pulls out a blaster, with the other hand, a thermal detonator. Can you even begin to guess what she would have whipped out from under that cloak if she had a third hand? I mean, the mind absolutely boggles. Her only other ability not only deals special damage, but also makes all those hard metal balls on her opponents just burst. I mean, all of her opponents just explode. All at the same time. Then she throws more balls at him. Leia Boushh's leadership invigorates her allies and demoralizes her enemies. She gives health and protection to her teammates and makes those who oppose her less tenacious. I think it's due to her personal charisma and razor wit. Or maybe her opponents realize that she's just wearing a metal bikini under her cloak. Either way, people are more likely to be affected by her presence. It's like they want Leia to beat them. But that can't be right. Who would want someone in a metal bikini to make you explode just by being near them? I mean, what are the devs thinking? That doesn't make any sense. Now, I know that it's going to sound like I'm focusing pretty hard on Leia's gold swimwear, and I promise that I'm not. Or at least no more than is absolutely necessary. But her first unique is called Fearless, and it is an absolute perfect name for an ability for Leia, because let's take a look at who she is. Not only is she this like ballsy space princess, but she's the daughter of Padme, right? Now, not everyone can pull off the whole metal underoo look, but she did. And Padme, she had some pretty wild outfits in her own time. Padme was known for extravagant costumes and elegant evening wear. So it's only fitting, right? What was I saying? Oh yeah, Leia Boushh's first unique, like, it does something. LB's second unique ability is actually a pretty cool, but I think it hints at something even cooler. It gives light side smuggler allies additional armor penetration, offense, potency, and speed. It also makes her allies immune to stun and ability block. It makes sure that her team can perform to the best of their abilities. It's like a shot of Spanish fly and human horn and clam juice and a Red Bull, like all mixed into one, and like topped off with some like blue space meth. But it doesn't stop there. Leia Boushh has an Omicron attached to this ability that is specific to raids. Now I know we all love going back in time and playing the original Rancor, but does this ability hint at a new raid incoming? Now, Boushh's payout allows her to lower the cooldown of her ball-busting special ability so she can use it just about whenever she wants. It's pretty much every other turn. Well, that's it for me, folks. Stay tuned next week for more story time with Uncle Thad on the Escape Podcast for Kids.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways want you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a team meal, team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission. Attention. Attention. We are receiving an incoming transmission.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Escape Podcast. And this week's special guest, he's really good at the Mandalorian pinball. He beat me in that. But I beat him in skee ball, so I'm happy on in that respect. The best hair, even though it's covered up right now, in Galaxy of Heroes, and one of the most down-to-earth, amazing people. I am proud to introduce to you once again, or for the first time if you've never seen it before, Gridan. How are you, Grid?
Hey guys, thank you so much again for having me on. It's always a good time being here, and you guys are just way too kind. You guys are way too kind. Thank you so much for your kind words. Yes, you did win at skee ball. I would not tell anybody else. I let you win. That's really, that's really what it is. It's not that you absolutely destroyed me or anything.
No, you. It was a close game each and every single time. You won 1, I got 3. So
no, that's not even close. You destroyed me. I kept going for the 100s, and he, as a very sane-minded person, just rolled for he rolled for the 50s and the 40s, and crushed it. Just like nailed every. I'm like, I'm gonna get the 100 like an idiot. So, anyways,
well,
it was a lot
I
of fun.
remember the time that I was down, and I was like, okay, I got to go for the 100 to at least have a chance, and knocked it.
Yes, yes. So you're absolutely the skee ball champion. Absolutely, I defer to you.
Yeah, but and putting in pinball, your lady is better at me. And this, I'm saying this, and I'm very humbled by it. Your lady is better at Pac-Man than I am.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't either.
Grid's misses kick your ass at something.
All of ours. Yeah.
Grid's misses
Pac-Man.
kick your asses.
At Pac-Man. Yeah. No,
I got 1 win. She got 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
that one of those
massacre.
Giant Pac-Man machines that was in an arcade?
Not the big one, it's the Battle Royale one.
Yeah, there's 4. There's 4 little Pac-Man, you guys all. Anyways. Yeah, she was way better at that than any of us knew.
Yes, but we threw enough tomatoes at her that it was that it was worth.
Yeah. She's a sneaker Pac-Man
water
player.
out of a wine decanter?
No, it's just a water bottle.
Oh, I didn't see the top. I was like, oh my god, he's drinking water out of a wine decanter.
So, Grid, what were your? This dropped right as we're having dinner.
Oh my goodness!
The road ahead, and I'm like, don't tell me, and you're like, oh yeah, I read it and watched it all. Now I finally get to hear your thoughts. What is this? Good, bad, indifferent, or weird?
So here's where I'm at, and this one's truly difficult for me to kind of say. I'm just worried it's one of those almost like, dude, this is absolutely amazing, but like a little too late. I don't want to be that guy, because here's ultimately this road ahead is amazing. This has such good stuff. I am so happy that Jabba does not have all these Relic 9 requirements. I loved hearing about, a new territory battle, the quality of life, mod calibration, whatnot. I'm glad that they specified it's limited, not just, buy as much as you want, although maybe it will be. And then mods will just become just like Datacrons anyways, which would be super frustrating. It's like, I'm happy
They already
overall.
were, though.
Well, I mean, like this whole calibration thing, you're just taking a stat and re-rolling it for like
you're
a
changing
different
the stat. You still get the great version of whatever's rolled.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
so if I have all this great, I don't know, tenacity, and I don't need a tenacity on that mod.
Yeah.
I could possibly re-roll it and end up getting the best speed ever if I already have the best tenacity ever. That's how they explain, make your good mods better and your better mods perfect.
Yes. So there's, now there's going to be this new layer of mods. And anyways, I digress to my point at the beginning was like, I love all of this stuff, but I am just like, there's this part of me that's really kind of jaded that it's taken this long and this much, effort to get a few nice things is what it kind of feels like, So you're kind of like, I mean, people are already quitting, like we needed these changes before, even the announcement, like territory battles, like I'm super stoked for it. I think that's a great idea. But like these quality of life stuff and just some of these changes that we've wanted for a while, I'm just like, it almost seems like it's too late. So that's my initial sort of like impressions, but actually talking about the road ahead itself is just fantastic information. I'm really happy. I don't think there's any of it that I'm disappointed with. I do need to watch through the video again with our Meathead's video, and I want to try and dissect some more details out of that one because I know I missed some stuff. I just kind of skimmed the video and then read the post. So I do need to watch the video through and through because I know a lot of people are mentioning other stuff. So I do need to watch that all the way through, but I'm excited for it. I think a new territory battle sounds awesome. I'm pretty stoked about that. I overall do still kind of like the idea of mods calibration because if you got, 5 stacks on this one and you want to trade it over to speed, like this gives you another opportunity to kind of tailor your mods. But the problem is mods already got like, this huge kind of almost nerf to their value thanks to Datacron. So it's like, okay, we just got this new way to make mods better, but I mean, mods aren't better than Datacron still. So it's, like, do you get what I'm kind of saying? Where it's all kind of like nice stuff, but you're like, I mean,
it would have been even better if Datacrons didn't exist.
Yes.
Because the thought just crept into the back of my mind. So if someone's got a Datacron that increases offense by a certain amount of percentage, a person that's got that level 9 Datacron might be thinking, right, okay, so I'll just do the mods for the team that's got that level 9 Datacron on, thus making it it's already so he's thinking this is pretty much impossible for 50% of my opponents, but if I redo the mods with the specific stats tuned to the Datacron for this team, it'll increase it from half the people not being able to get past it to 70 or 80 or maybe 100%. So being able to tweak your mods specifically on the squad that you're assigning an already OP Datacron to is going to make it like close to impossible for people to then beat that squad
for 4 months.
Yes, exactly. For 4 months. Like
for 4 months. And then guess what they can do? They can take the mod materials and they can then re-roll and redo the because here's the thing that it may be capped, but if you get the roll straight away that you want, then it's like great. So that mod I can still do X amount on that. I can bring that mod back. I've rolled it because it's on this team for this Datacron, which is good. But now that Datacron's gone, I need to, tweak it again. So that is a mild concern. I still think that this is going to create an absolute chasm between the people at the top of GAC and Territory Wars and the people that are I said the top 500. I reckon maybe the top 5. It's just the gap is just going to open up. In PvP.
Yeah, I would agree. And we're already seeing this sort of aspect where people can win without like I don't this is not to be rude to players, that is not my intention here, but the way that the game has sort of changed and developed with this, especially the addition of Datacrons, there's this big sort of change and shift of letting the game be so difficult that you just let your opponent deal with it. Like that's the game has developed to this sort of area where I think personally one of the most, well, you know, the whole most effective tactic available, your meta at the time really is like stick as much crazy tough stuff on defense and let your opponent deal with it. Now, you know, if they have a hard counter for something, it might work still. But in this aspect, like this is what I've had to do at Kyber 1 is I put 6 GLs on defense, Star Killer sometimes, Malgus, of course, everybody their level 9 Datacrons, and then, you know, Executor, just let your opponent deal with it because it's so complicated and so difficult, and these Datacrons are so crazy. It's just like, you know what, man, like good luck. And then if you beat it, hey, you know what, you can win. But if they just sit there beating their head against the wall because these Datacrons are too overpowered, you just watch them fail and then you pick through some of their leftover stuff. Like that's what this, you know, the meta, in my personal opinion, is becoming. And now if you're going to add on these mods as well, I agree in that 100%. Like the top 500, the top 1,000 or more is just going to be, at this point, you can just throw enough money at things where it makes up for any level of skill you may or may not have.
That's how life is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna at some point today, I'm gonna have a quick shifties at the table, the actual ladder itself, because you can see the Kyber 1 ladder on SWGOH.gg. So I'll be curious. I'm going to scan through some of the pages because before Datacrons, everybody was on top of each other. You know, so there was no gaps in the skill rating between, you know, so you would have lots of people and then one skill rating point, lots of people, another skill rating point. I'll be curious to know if Datacrons have created a gap, a sizable gap in skill rating.
Yeah, well, there's
definitely going to be something, because that skill rating gap is going to get bigger.
Yeah, I mean, there's that guy who sat in first, if I remember right, the way that it was is with how he would drop. He didn't even have to play GAC. He could have like skipped a whole week and he would still be first in the world with how far ahead this guy got of other people. And you know, it's just, yeah, that skill, it becomes exhausting. I mean, maybe that's what it is. You know, maybe that's just, that's how they want the game to be, is like it's too frustrating for you to like competitively deal with it unless you spend money. I mean, if that's their goal, then it's working. You know, like if that's what their goal, if their goal is what's happening, then they're doing great. But that's just more of the pessimist in me that's making it really hard for me to really enjoy some of these changes. You know, oh, we got our gear economy change, you know, part of it. I'm like, I mean, it's almost irrelevant. It's obviously not,
I'm
but
right
like,
there with you. I'm right there with you. I'm so lackluster for GAC at the moment. I've only done, I had for 2 weeks, two weeks, I haven't logged in my alt account, and it's better than my main account. But it's like, you know, I was sick and tired of facing people with Datacrons and knowing, right, I cannot physically get past that. What's the point in playing? So I just didn't play.
Yep, exactly. And that's
the problem, is opening it up, seeing one thing that you know you can't beat, and then, well, that's it. I no longer want to play this.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Conquest was the same for me. It's like, you know, after 7, it's like, well, where's the fun? You know, I don't want to grind for 3 hours every single day. I don't want to grind for 2 hours every single day. I just want to have fun with this mode. And at least be, no, you're not doing that. And then, so it's just, too much for me. I haven't streamed a GAC in 4 weeks now.
Oh, wow.
I'm that disinterested in GAC. I haven't streamed one for 8. Granted, you know, I am busy, but there are times when I'm home on an evening and I'm sat in front of the computer and I'm like, I've got 2 hours spare now. So I open up my GAC and it's like, oh, there's a level 9 Datacron on the front.
Never mind.
And then I put it down. That's literally it. I'm looking, thinking I've got 2 hours. I could stream a GAC. I look at what my opponents put down. They've put a Datacon, and that's it. sod it, I'll watch TV and go to bed instead. That's it.
Yep.
So,
sorry, we're kind of pessimistic over here.
It's okay, but we're gonna shift gears a little bit. You've been doing some new stuff on your channel.
I've been trying. Yeah. Given some of the frustrations.
You're great at Call of Duty, and now you're throwing your hat in Overwatch.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't gotta. There's not.
I'm
too
sorry.
much,
I'm complimenting you.
Yes, I get awkward with compliments. No, it's more so just that like I'm not really trying to get into a competitive scene with Overwatch. When I was doing Call of Duty, that was like the intention was like I want to get not necessarily into like COD League, but I was doing tournaments. I was playing for money. I was getting.
You were doing really well in them tournaments. You were doing very well in those tournaments with that team that you were with.
Yeah, we actually did okay.
You won some money. You bagged some cash.
Yeah, we did come out on top. We did make enough money to make our money back, if you will. And so like it was fun, but it's just not really I don't know, a sustainable thing for me. It's fun to do every once in a while, and I do enjoy it, but it's not really my thing. And so with Overwatch 2 is about to come out, and I just think it's a super fun game. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm decent, but not like great. And I'm not expecting to like be the best in the world. I'm okay, but I enjoy it, and it's fun. So it's been a nice little break from SWGOH, if I'm being honest, because it's just been this nice, I don't know, I can play a video game that I just enjoy, if that makes sense. And SWGOH has become this like really, chore. So
yeah,
I've been enjoying playing Overwatch and trying to dip into these other games and be able to just kind of enjoy playing for playing. And it's a really fun game. So
you ever thinking about picking up Fortnite?
I played Fortnite for literally 3 seconds at a friend's house, and I just knew it's just not for me. I just know that gameplay, the whole building mechanic is just.
Well, there's versions where you don't have building.
I actually, yes, I did see that, whatever that new mode just came out. But yeah, I immediately was like, I'm not into this. I'm not saying it's just a kid's game, but like I know the majority of that audience is sort of kids that have just a way different understanding of life than I do, and I really don't want to deal with them. So I don't think I would do very well with Fortnite. When I see some Fortnite streamers and the kind of humor that they have, and their audience and the jokes that they make and some of the toxicity that I see, I'm just like, I don't want to be around that. That's just
so you got to get with the Nanner bunch in the Escape Podcast server. We no puppies, just laughing our asses off, still getting top 10s.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, probably no Fortnite. But yeah, I hope to dip into Overwatch 2 when it comes out, which will be in about a month. And then I'm keeping my eye open for any other just games that sound or look fun, and trying to bring a little bit of enjoyment back to my streams, because honestly, I have not been. I posted a pretty public apology video just saying like I just haven't been myself lately, you guys. I just it's really hard to make content about some of this stuff right now, because it's hard for me to effectively say, hey, I really don't like Datacrons. I disagree with them completely. I've said my piece on how fundamentally different I think these need to be for the enjoyment of the game and the betterment of the players. And with all of that said, here's a video of how good a Datacron is. Like it's hard for me to make that video just on a personal level. And maybe somebody out there is like, why? That's just how the game is.
You don't want to be negative. That's the thing. You don't want to be negative anymore.
Or like hypocritical, like I made that BAM video. I don't know if you guys saw that one. I mean, super fun. I loved the video. I loved making the video. Like the editing style. I've been trying to do different stuff and have fun with it. But man, it's just BAM absolutely deleting Galactic Legends left and right. And I was like, I'm so glad BAM is doing this, but like, Jesus, I hate that it's because of this Datacron. I hate this thing. Like,
yeah.
So it's hard to like make content about something that you just disagree with. And I don't know. I find myself in a moral conflict of what to do, I guess, if that makes sense.
There's a moral quandary. Well, what have you ever thought of just like, I don't know, maybe going old school? I mean, you've got a decent setup. You could always throw RetroArch on your PC, play some old school games, do something like that for shits and giggles.
Well, I was thinking about doing a never played series. Something like that. Like, there are, as much as I love video games, there are so many video games that I never played. Just because, like, I kind of picked up a genre when I was a kid and mostly stuck with, shooters. I played some racing for a little bit, which was kind of fun, and I did, I do enjoy RPGs, but there are a lot of, even of those genres that I like, first person shooters and RPGs, there are a lot of big popular games I've never played. Like, I've never played Red Dead Redemption, and everybody loves Red Dead Redemption 2, just, one of the best games out there, and I've never played it. So, like, little things like that where I'm just like, I kind of want to go back. It's a little time capsule. And just
go
periodically,
a little old school, definitely.
Periodically pick up these games I never played. So
I think something like that would work for you, definitely.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's all just speculation stuff right now. I'm just trying to find as much enjoyment as I can with, what I can. SWGOH. It just requires a fundamental change, which I think is kind of, for anybody, is oftentimes difficult. But Nev, I know, and Paul, I spent a lot of time with GAC as a player that I was intentionally, like, tuning my roster for, counters and ways to, okay, fine, you bought your Galactic Legend. You do probably have an advantage over me, but you know what? I'm going to find a way to make this work. I can tailor my defense. Maybe I can throw a loop for you, but I can use this off meta counter to beat your Galactic Legend. And so I can make this, I tailored all this stuff with GAC, and it was very fun. It was a really cool experience. And I feel like that play style is almost dead. Like, it really is just like, throw all this stuff on defense and win, or buy all these things, use it for offense and win. And so, like, I just feel like me as a player is almost being, like, forced into retirement, that, like, I can't really play the way that I enjoyed playing. I know people will be like, well, yeah, Datacrons, though, you can use those to theorycraft. Yes, but inherently, I hate Datacrons. So it's like, inherently, I have to change my entire play style to incorporate in this thing that I fundamentally disagree with and don't even want to use, because every 4 months I need to switch it up completely again. And so I can't, like, tailor my roster for it. I can't go and get a Relic 7 BAM to use this Datacron for 3 months. I can't do that. That's not sustainable for me, And same thing for these, Wedge and Mothmas and stuff like that, where even though I have Relic 5 Mothma, I'm not taking her to 7. I don't have the gear for that. I don't have,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And nobody got time for that. I feel like, I'm ranting a lot on Datacrons. I do apologize.
No, that's all right. I do it all the time.
Yeah, it's just, unfortunately, that's how bad it is that even a road ahead of this caliber with an actual new territory battle map, I'm still like, well, Datacrons suck.
Yeah.
Like, because what's going to happen in that territory battle? I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to look sweet if we do this whole kind of, like, hunt down Jedi and do all these different missions over the galaxy. I think this sounds great. Well, you could use mixed squad, so you can actually use your Star Killer.
I want to see. Here's the thing, though. They've given us this news. It's new territory battle, and everyone's like, yay. Just like everybody was excited when they were talking about bringing out the Crankor, and then they put a level 5 relic cap on it, and everybody was like, oh. Okay, thanks for taking the wind out of my sails. I'm thinking new raid that I'm going to be at a part. No, can't. That's what's going to happen with this. I'm that cynical right now. Yeah. I 100% truly believe that's what's going to happen with this new territory battle. This new territory battle is going to be Relic 5 capped. Minimum. Yeah. So every single one of your squads has to be over Relic 5 in order to, do anything.
Yeah,
it's going to knock the wind out of people's sails, and people will be like, "Oh, great, something new," and then they can't do it. There are still guilds that can't do Crankor.
Right.
This territory battle is going to be no different.
Yeah.
People are going to look at the requirements for this and go, "My God, it's going to take our guild 12 months to be ready for this." You know,
and then that's
who wants to be a guild leader or a guild officer that's telling that, right, okay, you all need to do this if we want to do this, and people will be like, yeah, no, I'm going for a GL. No,
Yeah, I don't have the resources to do that.
Well,
yeah.
So Yevon 4 won't force farm people, but if it's Hondo, if one of the if Reva's only dark side and Hondo's neutral side, I mean, am I gonna go Merc? I don't know. Speaking of territory battles, though, I want to give a quick shout out to Yevon 4, who just broke their star record. We hit 24 stars on light side, and we are sniffing at 25 already.
Well done.
Congratulations to Yevon 4.
Yeah, that is tremendous. That is actually, I don't recall off the top of my head what we're getting to.
Yeah,
that is awesome, though, man. Yeah, always getting a new star. That always feels good. That always feels good, dude. That's awesome. Congratulations, you guys. But yeah, so anyways, I digress yet again. I feel like I'm going on a lot of tangents here. Yeah, if territory battles comes out and there's these relic requirements, you're just like, okay, I don't really care about it. I guess we'll get there, but fine. Alienate this huge percentage of the player base.
It sucks because you're telling a bunch of people we're bringing this, but you can't play it. It's like we're giving you this, but you can't play it because you don't meet the requirements.
Yeah,
that's what kills people. That's what annoys people.
Like proving grounds. That was supposed to be this just super easy way for a bunch of people to get some shards on these really difficult characters, and you're gonna lock it behind. Why? I don't get why all these little changes are happening in the game where they're so unfriendly to such a big percentage of the player base. And it's so difficult for me to yes, I don't care about proving grounds. I have the characters. I did that stuff. I still am not happy with it, even though it doesn't even affect me. I don't like the decision to lock these stuff behind these, for so many players out there. It just doesn't make sense to me. And so, yeah, this new stuff comes out and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be able to probably play a bit of this, but even at 8.4 mil, I'm still probably going to be like, okay, yeah, I can't really interact with this. What do you guys expect me to do? Buy everything, have everybody at fully relic to be able to play this? No, because the alternative option is playing this game to near max, 11 million GP. You can only do that in a reasonable time frame by buying stuff. I've been playing the game daily for almost 7 years now.
Right.
And I'm at 8.4 million. I've spent a few $1,000s on the game. I'll own up to that.
Holy cow, did I finally catch you?
Maybe.
I am sitting at 8. I think it's 8.4 myself as well. So
ooh, it must be close then. Yeah, I'm at almost 8.5.
8417414.
8496.
All right, so I need.
You are right behind me. You are hot on my heels.
I am finally hot in your heels.
That'd be sweet if we matched up in GAC now. Although I am about to unlock Lord Vader.
Well, I'm a Rhodium, so it won't happen.
Oh, okay, that won't happen. No, that won't. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna drop, honestly. So
who knows? Gridan, what do you got coming up on your channel?
Oh boy. We got more GAC stuff coming out next week. Of course, we'll be spending some more time going into 3v3s with our Dodgecrons. So that's, I'm sure, going to be...
Did you just call it a Ganjacron?
Dodgecron.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said Ganjacron.
Ganjacron, no. Yeah, we're going to have 3v3 with Dodgecron, so I am not looking forward to that. I'll be unlocking, like I said, Lord Vader, hopefully within a week or two. So I'll be able to add him to the list. And then I'm going for Profundity. And, actually, yes, one thing I'm really excited about. I finally soloed the HSTR.
Without a GL.
I saw that tweet.
I finally freaking got it. I've been trying on that for just about 3 months. About 3 months of attempts and sort of tailoring and tweaking the strategy and mods and everything, and finally got it. So I'm
you're gonna do a vid on that like Skeltrix did when Skeltrix first soloed the HSTR.
Yes, because that's who inspired it. It was Skeltrix and this guy named Dark Rider. So Skeltrix posted the video, said, hey, first in the world, got this non-GL solo, really cool. And then this guy Dark Rider goes, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to ruin your party here. I did it, a few months ago with this other team as well. And then Skeltrix, in huge, display of just being an awesome person, was like, that is so awesome, dude. Congratulations. Like, you get the title of, first in the world that did it. So these two guys were really awesome. And I ended up gravitating towards Dark Rider strategy, which was using JTR lead with BB-8 3PO Rex and Commander Tano. And finally made it work after tweaking the strategy enough times. And it was really fun. So yeah, videos coming out on that one. I've already started it. It just takes a while and life's kind of crazy right now. So yeah, I should be done with that one hopefully this weekend yet, but realistically within a couple of days here. So yeah, other than that, just kind of business as usual.
All right. And how do people find you now? Because I know you've changed it your Twitch title a few times. How do people find you?
Yeah, on Twitch is Gridan _. If you know whoever has the name Gridan, I would like it. So if you know who that is, tell them to message me. I want the name. But yeah, Gridan _ on Twitch, Gridan on YouTube, Gridan on Twitter, Instagram.
I'm all on
over
Twitter.
The place.
Yes, the _ on Twitter.
Yes, on Twitter. And then yeah, so pretty much some version of Gridan anywhere, and you'll find me. But yeah.
All right, Neil. Any final questions?
No, that's all. Thanks you, mate.
All right. So let's
thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Gridan, for taking a moment to stop by. Coming up, the brand new episode of Dickie and the Noob, right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off hosting the 2022 SWGOH, I present to you the lovable droid with a penchant for calamity, N00B, the Noob.
Thank you. It is good to be here, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to the newest and most exciting exhibition of everyday skills, Tatooine's Got Talent. Now, there is no way that someone with a love of money and profiteering would want to miss this. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Welcome to Tatooine's Got Talent. I am your host and judge, Dickie Darkside. Tatooine's Got Talent is a show with simple rules, but big prizes. Basically, you just gotta prove to us that you're the biggest scoundrel in the galaxy, and you get to join us on our crew for the biggest heist ever conceived this side of the Outer Rim. So without further ado, let's get our first scoundrel out here. So we have our first contestant, and it says here his name is, what exactly is your name, sir?
I am Cornholio. My bunghole will speak now.
Alrighty then. Well, it says here your special skill is thievery. What is it that you steal, Mr. Bungholio?
I need TP for my bunghole.
Okay, so you steal TP. Do you have any other special skills that would be useful?
My bunghole, it speaks loud.
And how exactly is that useful?
You can take me, but you will never take my bunghole. For I am the great Cornholio. I have no bunghole.
Look, I know we said we're looking for the biggest scoundrels in the universe, but I meant the Star Wars universe. You're not even in the right IP.
The almighty Bungholio! Bungholio! The almighty Bungholio! Bungholio!
All right, that's enough with you. All right, let's get on to our next contestant. It says here it is Winnie the Pooh? What? I just said we're looking for the Star Wars universe.
Oh, bother. I just don't have a home anymore.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Now that you're part of the public domain, technically you can show up anywhere, like in that horror movie people are making with you, so you could just basically, people can do whatever they want with you. But why do you think you would be right for this crew? You don't seem very, I don't know, scoundrelly.
Yes, so no one has to pay for me anymore. Oh, bother. But Winnie would do anything for his honey. And with no money, gotta get that honey.
So you think you have the stomach for pulling off the biggest job the universe has ever seen?
Do I have the stomach for it? You don't know my stomach. And right now, I would gut Piglet for some honey. It's getting really desperate in here.
I'll be honest with you, Pooh Bear. Look, maybe we can find you some work in the Star Wars universe, you know, maybe a sitcom of Pooh Bear in the Ewok Village, something like that, but I don't think this is the right thing for you. I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to move on to the next one.
Listen, you twerp, I'll get you for some honey right now.
Okay, security, get this guy off the stage. Who do we have next? It says here... Wait, Onaka? Seriously? Onaka?
Yeah, surprise, it's me.
Oh god, no. Rhonda, we told you to stay on the ship.
Yeah, you left me alone on that ship with that little freak Yarmo. Do you know what he does when you guys aren't around? Or even when you are around, noob, I see you going in there at night, so don't even try to pretend.
Noob just goes in there for his maintenance. I don't know what you're insinuating. Look, what Noob does on his own time and with whom he does it is his own business. What do you even care?
Look, all I know is that if you're having a talent contest, then Rhonda is your girl. I think I did it again. I made you believe that we're more than friends. Oh, baby.
No. Stop that right now.
It's Rhonda Slimo. Just deal with it, okay? Capiche?
And hey, would you look at that. Unfortunately, Rhonda, we're out of time for this episode, so you're going to have to go back to the ship now.
Oh no, Dankferric. Nobody backs Rhonda into a corner.
I need TP for my bunghole.
Oh, look, I can trade you some TP for some honey.
You can take me, but you will never take my bunghole.
Okay, you guys are even weirder than Yarmo.
All right, well, mercifully, this episode is over, folks. Thanks for sticking around this long, and we'll see you next time on Tatooine's Got Talent.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. Great interview with Grid, but it's Patreon's choice now, so it's question time.
It is question time.
It's question time. I'm gonna steal the BBC question time intro. Zaz will know what I'm talking about, just so that we can run that, you know, because it's question time, you know.
Well, speaking of Zaz, he's got his normal 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3 James Bond movies.
Oh, okay. Top 3. Okay.
We'll go back and forth. A View to a Kill, number 1 for me.
I'm gonna go Live and Let Die.
Goldfinger, number 2.
I will go with The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay. As long as you don't say On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Number 3.
No, George Lazenby sucked.
Number 3. You know, a lot of, and it's not just because of the video game. It's because of how intrigued I was at this movie, GoldenEye.
No, for me it would be A View to a Kill.
Okay.
I've got to include A View to a Kill in there because it's my
That's
favorite.
my number
Bond.
1. It's my number 1.
It's my favorite Bond. And it's got Christopher Walken as a bad guy and Grace Jones as the evil Bond girl. I mean, don't get. I appreciate that she wasn't an actress, but I actually think that she did really, really well as the bad Bond girl that flipped. You know, that flips at the end because she realizes her boss is a complete a-hole.
You also know who else it had? Jaws.
Yeah, and it had Jaws in it as well, and so like I said, Grace Jones, not the greatest actress in the world, but I think she put. There's only 2 films, as far as I'm concerned, that Grace Jones has ever been able to pull off, and that's A View to a Kill, and Conan the Destroyer.
All right,
I thought she was awesome in that as well.
All right, so I may not have all of the ones on this one, but we'll see. Top 3 British comedies.
Oh God. Okay. Top 3 British comedies. Easy.
Okay. For me, you know, I'm not familiar with many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
Okay. Whose Line Is It Anyway? Does that count?
Yep. Whose Line Is It Anyway does count. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then I guess my third one would have to be Monty Python.
Okay, so you've got so you've got the obvious ones there. I'm going to do some slightly less obvious ones.
That's
obviously.
Obvious.
I'm not going to say Red Dwarf because everybody knows I'm already a Red Dwarf fan. Okay, so that goes without saying. So I'm going to go The Young Ones, Bottom, and Game On.
All right.
3 shows that people might not necessarily have heard of, but they are absolutely awesome. I mean, special mention for Spaced, you know, definitely special mention for Space, special mention for Red Dwarf, of course. But yeah, Bottom is just hilarious. The Young Ones is just hilarious, and Game On is just hilarious.
Let's move along to number 3. Top 3 Sir Christopher Lee movies.
Okay. So Christopher Lee movies. I thought he was very, very. I mean, he only plays a small part, but I thought he was quite good in Edward Scissorhands. Must admit, I did like him in Edward Scissorhands. I liked him in all of the Hammer horror Dracula movies, because he was a great Dracula in the Hammer horrors. He was a really, really good Dracula. But they did so many that there was like literally lots and lots and lots of them. There's no one specific, one. And then obviously, Lord of the it's the Mary J. Even said it there as well. Sauron. Lord of the Rings, definitely. So yeah, Edward Scissorhands, Lord of the Rings, and all of the Hammer horrors as Dracula, because he made an awesome Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula was gonna be one of mine, so I'm gonna have to. I'll replace it with Gremlins 2. but that's not my number one.
Gremlins. Oh God, I wish I could speak to him now and go. So which movie? Because that's the one he's going to say he regrets ever doing. It's going to be Gremlins, like Bill Murray regrets doing Garfield. Christopher Lee would say, yeah, Gremlins 2. It's got to be Gremlins 2.
But speaking of Bond films, The Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh, God, yeah. Scaramanga. He was brilliant. Oh, I can't believe I forgot Scaramanga. No way. I totally forgot Scaramanga.
And then I would have to go, screw it. We're a Star Wars podcast. He's Count Dooku.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, so I have to pick one movie. I'm going to go number 2. I'm going to go with Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
All right. Question for Nev. Single famous Danger Mouse quote.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. It's been that long since I watched Danger Mouse. Honestly, can't think of one off the top of my head.
All right. You'll owe one to Zaz later on.
I'll owe one to Zaz later on, yeah.
All right. And then finally, the top 3 Sir Ian McKellen movies.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, I mean, any of the original three X-Men movies, because he does make a very good Magneto. He is very, very good.
I do have a favorite. Number 2 is my favorite of the X-Men movies, so that's going to be one of mine.
Yeah, so definitely. So I would go the old X-Men trilogy. Obviously the Lord of the Rings trilogy as Gandalf, and there was one that he did with Brendan Fraser that I thought was really, really good as well. It was a serious movie about a student and a professor. I wish I could remember what the title was. I just remember it being a really, really good movie because I mean it's Sir Ian McKellen. It's he's got the Sir there for a reason. He is like acting royalty. The dude's incredible. So, but yeah, I wish I could remember what the name of that movie was that he did with Brendan Fraser because it was such a good movie. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. I can't remember the title. I'll have to IMDb it.
All right. For me, I mean, he's excellent in X-Men. Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean,
Gods and Monsters,
more of
I think, was
voice.
the movie that I was talking about with Brendan Fraser.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check what that one is. I can't think of a third one. I really can't think of a third one. But if I Google, he was in the movie Flushed Away, so we'll say that one. And yes, Gods and Monsters. Ian McKellen plays James White. Brendan Fraser plays Clayton Boone. I didn't realize that Brendan Fraser was Clayton Boone.
Oh, did you not realize that Brendan Fraser was in it? Yeah, no. Great. Gods and Monsters was good. It's not like a movie with special effects and stuff like that. It's just pure acting, and that's why I put it in the list. That was one of his best pure acting roles. It was awesome.
All right, and Bob threw in some questions here. Bob wants to know who our top 5 kings or queens are. I'm gonna go with. Can it be any royalty, Neil?
Well, he said kings and queens.
Instead
so
of king and queen, can I do a sir and so I want to expand it. So, I would have to say, well, let's just do top 3.
Yeah.
Why don't you start with yours, and I'll tell you my king, queen, or sir or lady.
Okay. So first of all, I will go
or Dame.
with
It's Dame, isn't it?
Huh?
It's Dame, right? Sir
What's
and Dame. It's the female equivalent of Sir. If you're knighted.
Lady.
It is lady. Okay, because I was thinking Dame Judi Dench.
It depends on the title. I thought we were just doing kings and queens. You know, the title, you know, you might get a knighthood, so it'd be Sir or Lady. You could get an OBE or an MBE. You could get the Dame, Lady. It depends on the title that you get. It really, really does.
All right.
So it's a slightly different kettle of fish, that. But I'm just going to go kings and queens. So for me, first one would be Charles II, King Charles II, because he was such an idiot, and he really did try to exert power from the crown that it caused a civil war. Now, civil war's never good, but the result of the civil war was the people won. So, you know, Parliament won. So the king was beheaded, and Oliver Cromwell became the Lord Protector for 5 years. Power went back to the people, and the royalty was basically, the royal family was reduced to a figurehead. Second one would be Elizabeth I, because even though she was a really, really nasty piece of work, she did put in the necessary work to stop the Spanish back in the back in the 16th century. She basically, you know, procured what was necessary to stop the Spanish from taking over the country. You know, it's a big English-Spanish war. So she was good for doing that and actually, you know, saving the realm. And then I will go with our current, our most recent bereavement, Elizabeth II, because maybe most people don't know what she did later on in life, but during her early years, she did some really based stuff. For example, one of the most based things she did was the Saudi royal came to the UK for a visit, and was picked up by Elizabeth. This royal dignitary from Saudi Arabia was collected in a vehicle by the Queen, and she drove like a complete and utter mad person around. And the point that she was making was, what are you going to do about it? I'm the Queen and I'm a woman, and yes, women can drive, because obviously at the time in Saudi Arabia, women weren't allowed to drive.
Right.
She was trying to make a point to this royal from Saudi Arabia that women can drive, and I'm going to scare the ever-loving bejesus out of you because for some reason you don't think that women. So, you know, I think that was pretty based for a royal to do at the time. Plus, she had to put up with a family that caused so many problems. So yeah.
All right. What do you got coming up? I'll answer the question on my way out. What do you got coming up on the channel? GA Center final of month
we've got,
2?
you give me the tables for that at some point, and we'll get that one out. We'll get the final we'll get the halfway show, because it's literally the midpoint of the season. So we can let everybody know how things are going. Let's see if Rambam is still the top of the table, because he has no idea why he is there at the moment. He is Rambam has been the top but he does. Everybody's saying that. Everybody's what was it when we were talking about last week's in the battalion? Everybody's like roasting Ram. It's like, yeah, you spent money for Datacrons. That's why you're top of the table. So we'll see where everybody is at some point this week. Yeah, definitely.
All right. And on Vault 37 Studios, the Cowabunga collection for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is out. May get that in the mix. But we'll see if there's time this week, because everything is so crazy. You and I have an appointment tomorrow, Neil, that we have to do, and then on Thursday I'm actually traveling for work, so we'll see when we can get some of that going.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. By the way, my favorite are all Kings. Okay. BB King, Billie Jean King, and Don King. Neil.
Okay.
Anything before we head out?
No. We're good to go, mate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching as always, and we do do very, very much mean it. Be nice to each other, damn it. Neil?
Push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.